Coalition of non-governmental organizations are collaborating with the Independent National Electoral Commission to mobilize people in Imo State for the ongoing national voter registration exercise.
More than 10 million Nigerians have participated in the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC's) continuous voters registration process to either get their PVCs or transfer their PVCs to their current location. 60% of this number are youth. It is clear that Nigeria's youth are now interested in deciding who governs them come 2023. So far, both INEC's communications and civil society organizations have been encouraging Nigerians to register, so it is not surprising to see that 1 year after the CVR process started, 5% of the country's estimated population have registered for PVCs. No eligible voter can vote without holding a PVC, so the real question should be, how many of these registered voters have gotten their PVCs ahead of the 2023 elections?
Some of the affected residents who spoke to the News Agency of Nigeria said that they arrived the INEC office as early as 4 a.m.
When we came, they give us notebook to write names. We put our name down, and then they asked us to join line, we join queue. When we join queue, later on they came and said that the machine is not in the office, that the machines are not on ground.
There has been little concerted reporting by INEC on actual PVC collections or advocacy to hold INEC accountable for this final crucial leg of enfranchising the Nigerian voter. It is with this in mind that SBM Intelligence carried out a survey in 8 states across the country to provide an indicative assessment of the process end to end from the voter's perspective. The survey was aimed at bringing stakeholder focus to that final crucial leg of ensuring that all those who have registered to vote receive their PVCs before the 2023 general elections. SBM chose to evaluate the CVR process beyond voter registration and track its performance all the way to PVC collection. Of the 4,000 people interviewed, 64% had started the continuous voter registration process, but only 41% of those who started the CVR process had been able to collect their PVCs as of when they were interviewed. Crucially, only 23% of those who had collected their PVCs were able to do so on their first visit. The rest had to make at least 2 visits, with 20% going at least 4 times before getting their PVCs. We imagine that this 20% who visited INEC offices 4 times before getting their PVCs are not youth, as most young eligible voters would not have patience for such a discouraging process. In fact, data gathered show that while more young people began the online CVR process, a smaller percentage of them, when compared to older people, continued the process. For example, while only 85% of those below 35 years moved from registering online to physical capture, more than 95% of those between 36 and 45 years and over 98% of those older than 46 years went from registering online to doing the physical capture exercise. The experience with trying to transfer an existing PVC to a new polling unit is also not very encouraging. An SBM staff member who is undergoing that process has visited the INEC office in his new locality 3 times as of June 2022. But INEC officials kept telling him the card wasn't ready and they do not know if or when it would be ready. He started the process in August 2021. This is the plight of many registered voters. In fact, many complained about the lack of information from INEC's end. Most people were told at the point of physical capture that they would be informed by SMS when the cards were ready, but this didn't happen. So many end up making frequent trips to their local INEC office, leaving their work, businesses, and studies behind.
Governors, aspirants, to assist to pronounce that INEC should reach all look and crony in Kano to see that they have their PVC.
At the moment, it appears that INEC staff's incentive is to register as many people as they can in order to report bigger numbers of registrants in the CVR process. But being that elections are approaching, INEC needs to refocus its objectives on the production and distribution of PVCs. This applies to both new registrants and those trying to transfer their PVCs. Civil society organizations also need to modify their campaigns from merely encouraging voter registration to mobilizing for PVC collection, while also engaging INEC closely on PVC collection status and information. There needs to be a greater demand for transparency and accountability on this important point. INEC should include notifications of readiness of PVCs via SMS in its process, include a tracking process in its online portal to transparently communicate to the voter where each CVR process is, and also modify its incentives to its staff to ensure that they prioritize PVC distribution, especially as elections approach. And while doing this, the Independent National Electoral Commission should ensure that the process is violence-free. These are the ways INEC can renew trust in its processes.